Boxomania. I swear you don't want an enemy in me. Nope. And in a couple years it might be a mini-me. So, even if you get to me, you know she's avenging me. So don't even mention me, because eventually if it comes spring, T-I-M-E. 2025, I'm bringing back MTV. Baggy blue jeans, Carmelo jersey. And my bitch is cold, looking something like a Furby. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for a Vic. I'ma play, make it like, go for for Vic. Oh for Vic. Oh for Vic.
Oh for Vic. It hits different, bro. Oh for Vic hits different after a Mariners W. Got a little iffy there. Got a little iffy there at the end of that game, but Andres Munoz was able to lock it down. What win streak? What win streak? I don't even know what win streak we're talking about with the Brewers, because you know what? The Seattle Mariners were able to take Game 2. Logan was fantastic in this game. Obviously pitched into the 7th inning, struck out 10, only gave up 2 hits. The best that we have seen him since opening day. And we know kind of the story with Logan and the injury and, you know, everything that has to go along with it. But if Logan can get back to where he was last year, over the next, 60 games or whatever we have left in the season, then you are looking at a rotation with Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, Luis Castillo has been fantastic as well. That's a really good 3, and those are probably the 3 that you go with if you get into a playoff series. So, Cal with number 39 today. He has not looked great since the All-Star break, but you know what? He came through with the big homer today. It's all that matters. Almost had one earlier in the game, caught at the wall. He hit that thing really hard. I mean, Mizorowski, I don't necessarily blame the Mariners offense for not scoring off of Mizorowski. That guy's crazy. That guy is insane. Like, Jacob Mizorowski is a freak of friggin' nature. So I don't necessarily blame the boys for not being able to score off of him, but they still were able to get him out of the game relatively early because they were able to work counts against him. So, other than that, not a lot to talk about in this game. Matt Brash bent but did not break. Gabe Spire came in, got a job done. We had, Edward Bizardo come in and cover a pretty important inning there as well. So, yeah, just a really good all-around team win. It wasn't a high-scoring game, but it kind of seemed like it wasn't going to be in the first place, because when you have Logan Gilbert and Jacob Mizorowski, 6'6" and 6'7" kings, yeah, it's gonna be a battle of the Titans. And Logan, I mean, his splitter was crazy today. Logan's splitter was insane, and we know that he's had maybe a bit of trepidation throwing that pitch ever since he came back off of the injured list. But you know what? Today was like the first day that I really felt like he let it loose. And that splitter is his best pitch, in my opinion. And the fact that he feels good enough to throw that splitter as often as he did tonight is a really good sign, in my opinion. Has his velocity been down a little bit? Maybe. I think that's something that we can certainly look at and say, hey, is Logan 100% healthy? But if they're letting him throw his splitter that much, I think he's healthy. Yeah, just an all-around good team win. A great play by J.P. Crawford on the defensive side of things. Cole Young had a base hit earlier in the game as well. A couple of weird plays by Luke Raley over there at first base. I know the one that hit off of Matt Brash. That was just a weird one. Like, you got the runner bearing down on you. The ball's kind of coming in at a weird angle. But, yeah, it's then the other one definitely should have been caught by him, but it is what it is. Bummer they didn't let Logan go further, but understand they're worried about injury. Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think later in the year you let him go. But yeah, just coming off the injury and stuff, you don't let him go. So, 11-game win streak isn't as good as 14. True. That's a good point. The low velo could be on purpose. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it might be. Jacob coming in hot with the 999. Top D of the day. Round of applause for Jacob, everyone. Top D of the day says, thought Munoz was going to blow it, but alas, go M. So, dude, my stream, died after the 8th inning, and it kept trying to get it back up, and it wasn't working, and I was going to lose my mind, and I went, and I finally got the stream to come back up, and there was runners on first and second with, 1 out, and I'm like, oh my god, what is happening? And, Yelich at the plate, or whoever was at the plate, I was like, dude, if this, if I come back and they blow this game, I'm never watching a game again. I was at the game last night, and let me tell you, I was like, oh man, George is thinking to myself, George is throwing a no-hitter, and then about 2 innings later, all of a sudden, just shit hit the fan. So, how we feel about Munoz, the thing with Andres Munoz is he has command issues. That's always been a thing for him. That's always been a problem, but we've seen him over the past couple of years dial that in, sorry. And I think that, he's going through a little bit of a rough patch right now, and he's had his moments. But yeah, it was a rough outing for Munoz today. It was even a rough outing in the All-Star game, but he still got the job done. So yeah, good for him. Then when you lose the stream, unmute it. Honestly, Peter, that's genius. Cole Young was getting on base, but hitting to double plays every time. Yeah, feels good, huh? Feels good, chat. Salary dump Demo for Gino. I mean, you would actually be taking on salary in that instance, but I'm in. Gonna go and watch the series win tomorrow. W. Bizardo over Vargas is something I didn't expect on my bingo card. Glad he was able to lock it down in the 8th. Amber just subscribe to the channel. Appreciate that, Amber. Thank you so much. Yeah, Bizardo has definitely earned that spot, in my opinion. Bizardo has definitely earned a spot as a leverage reliever. Carlos Vargas has definitely lost that. So, yeah, it is what it is. How we feeling if we win the series? I mean, if we win the series and the next 15 games are against some pretty mid teams, I'm in. I'm feeling pretty good. I said, just do not get swept in this series, and thankfully, they will not be swept in this series. So I feel good about that. I don't necessarily know what to expect with tomorrow's game. I mean, Quinn Priester, he's not, gonna blow your doors off or anything like that. But the Mariners' offense, I mean, 1 run in the past 15, 16 innings. I mean, it's a bit rough in that regard, but Bizardo's been a dog recently. Truly. Thoughts on tomorrow's pitching matchup? Yeah, it's Priester versus, is it Castillo tomorrow? I think it is. Let me look. Pretty sure it's Luis. I don't know why I'm saying let me look. I could just have you guys tell me, but I'm going to look anyway. Tomorrow, it is. Yeah, Luis versus Priester. I feel good about that. Luis has been great. He's been really, really good at home. And against an offense that is honestly pretty poor in the Milwaukee Brewers, I really think that Luis will be able to handle it. You know what I mean? And if the Mariners are able to kind of get to Quinn Priester a little bit, because the Brewers bullpen's also quite good. So it's you can't just rely on getting the starting pitcher out and then trying to take advantage of a bullpen, because, well, frankly, the bullpen's good. So yeah, I think that if you can get some off of Quinn Priester, you'll be sitting pretty. Castillo been so solid, so true. We do not need Gino. We need Naylor. No, we do not. What does Naylor give you that Gino doesn't? Nothing. In fact, listen, man. Naylor fills a position where you already have Luke Raley, okay? Or he fills the position of third base, where you have Ben Williamson, who's been fine, but you would like more production from right there. Just saying. Gino is going to be an MVP candidate this year, and Naylor's not. So, how many home runs does Cal hit on this upcoming road trip? What is it, a 6 game? I'm going to say 3, if not 4. 3, if not 4. You don't think we get either? Why not? Man, if we don't get either, we're screwed. We're screwed. If the Mariners come away from this deadline with Willie Castro and, like, I don't know, Nathaniel Lowe, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be happy. D-backs blew a bases loaded, no out situation against the Mariners. Sorry, against the Astros? Yeah. They're just like us, for real. Gino going to be too expensive? You got to get uncomfortable at this trade deadline. You have to get uncomfortable at this trade deadline. The Mariners are going to have to trade from their strength. And with how many with how many top prospects the Mariners have, and the fact they just added a bunch in the draft, you should be okay with it. We should go for Yandy as well. The Rays said they're not trading Yandy. They said that today. They're not trading him. Game over. Astros won. Hey, Astros won, but in the end, doesn't even matter because that means that the Diamondbacks lost. Yeah, I wish you would have, Black Mantis. We got Randy without getting uncomfortable. I completely disagree. Who was in that trade? It was God, what was his name? Brady something. Hold on. They really liked the outfielder they traded, whose name is escaping me right now. Happy birthday, Creed! Aiden Smith and Brody Hopkins. They really liked Aiden Smith. And now, I honestly think that Aiden Smith, as he gets older, is going to be in a really, really good spot. Just buy the Mariners with your money from this Mojo page, and everything will be fine. Man, if I could, I would. If I could, I would. Brody, yeah, I mixed up Aiden and Brody and became Brady. Or whatever the hell I said. Gain more of a lead on the Red Sox? W. What about Quan, Gino, and a good bullpen arm? I'll be shocked if the Guardians do end up trading Steven Kwan. I also don't know, like, does Randy DH more then? Does Dom Canzone DH more? Yeah, it's just kind of a weird spot to go out there and get an outfielder. But Yandy and Randy wife drama would have fed families. True. Let's pool all our money together, plus Mojo money, and buy the Mariners. I'm in, Cha. I'm in. Unfortunately, I don't think all 111 of us are still going to be able to afford it, unless we got some secret millionaires in here, you know what I mean? We traded away Julio Rodriguez today for cash. The Royals. Rip Julio Rodriguez. Luis Castillo and Julio Rodriguez have both been traded this year. Eugenio Suarez is going to the Yankees. The Mariners can outbid literally any team. Any team for Eugenio Suarez. And if they'll just say, hey, let us know, what they bid, and we'll come back with a counter offer. I think that the Mariners, there's a chance that Eugenio Suarez could go to the Astros. You know what I mean? And the Mariners absolutely cannot let that happen. So, I don't know. I think that this team is willing to get uncomfortable. Like, if they trade Durangelo Sanger and, Brandon Garcia, you know what I mean? If they trade, is that a deal you think that would get it done for Gino? Maybe another piece in there like Troy Taylor or something, because they want pitching. So, you think Gino goes back to the M's? Too much prospect capital? Exactly. With how much prospect capital the Mariners have, they can trade away. I would be comfortable if they trade away 2 of their top 10. I'd be fine with that, as long as they go out there and get someone impactful like Gino. If they end up losing a top 10 for Ryan O'Hearn and Pierce Johnson, I will not be happy. We're going to get IKF as a favor from the front office. Yeah, that's about right. We're doing you a favor. They just showed the Woo anthem standoff. W Brian Woo winning that standoff, by the way. Mariners are good at it. Love Gino, but we saw what he was in Seattle. Yeah, better player than he was in Cincinnati. Guys, Eugenio Suarez was good with the Mariners. I don't understand why people think that Gino was bad with the Mariners. When he was with the Mariners in his 2 years here, he had a 6.5 WAR, hit 234, 327, 423 with a 115 OPS plus. He hit 53 home runs in 2 years. Eugenio Suarez was good with the Mariners, Chad. I don't know. Like, Gino was very good here. You going to the Ichiro game? Nah, it was too expensive. It was way too expensive. Gino was killing us with the strikeouts, but it wasn't just Gino. It was Teoscar Hernandez, Gino, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh. It was 4 guys killing you with strikeouts. You don't have that anymore. The Mariners do not have a strikeout problem anymore. If you are fine adding one guy who strikes out a lot. And keep in mind, he's striking out at the top right now at 25%, just 3% above league average. But Julio's striking out below league average. You don't have Teoscar Hernandez anymore. You know, Cal Raleigh's helped out those problems. You are okay if you add somebody that has a little bit higher strikeouts, because the offense that you would get from Eugenio Suarez's bat is far and away much more valuable than his strikeouts. Yeah, Jared Kelenic, Dylan Moore. I mean, everybody was striking out. Everybody. What are your thoughts on getting Griffin Jax? I would love to get Griffin. If the Mariners are able to get Griffin Jax, I think that'd be a great guy to go out there and add to this team. Gino fits the needs for the offense and the clubhouse culture. I agree. Gino led the league in strikeouts both years. I do not care. I do not care. Truthfully. If you get a guy who's hitting 250 with 36 home runs, I do not give 2 shits how many strikeouts he has. I don't care. Why does it matter? A lot of strikeouts better than a double play. I'd much rather have him than Donovan Solano, who hits a double play every day. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand, chat. Kevin and Edgar will do wonders. I'm gonna just say that. I'm in. Would love Ronald Acuna Jr., but the Mariners aren't willing to pay. Honestly, I also don't think the Braves are going to end up trading him as it is. I really don't. But, I mean, if it happens, it happens, but I don't think they will. People were really upset with Cade joking that he wasn't exactly sure where Seattle was. Yeah, I don't know what. Man. I despise Mariners Twitter sometimes. And that's one of the reasons. Who cares if he doesn't know where Seattle is? Why does that matter? Why is that? That doesn't. Who gives a shit? Like, why do you care? Do you think we get another slugger like O'Hearn if we trade for Gino? I think you could. The Mariners have the prospect capital to be able to do it. I don't know if O'Hearn is really the guy. You know what I mean? Like, I think that O'Hearn would be fine to add over there at first base, but I mean, frankly, if you can get, if you can just get a right-handed hitter that is going to be better. Honestly, I don't care. Bring up Tyler Locklear. Why on God's green earth are we still throwing Donovan Solano out there? Bring up Tyler Locklear. He hit 2 home runs today. He was 4 for 4. He's been crushing the baseball. Like, why, how is Donovan Solano still on this freaking roster? Honestly. Getting Pete Fairbanks, Gino, Jax, maybe O'Hearn. Would you call that a good... that'd be a fantastic trade. The Mariners would win the trade deadline if they did that. That would be an insane trade deadline. I'm very much in. Good pen arms to target. We need to add depth there. Yeah, I mean, some of them have been mentioned so far. Griffin Jax is one. Pete Fairbanks is another. You can look at guys like Jimmy Herget for the Rockies, though the Mariners have never traded with the Rockies since Jerry Dipoto took over, but that's neither here nor there. Pierce Johnson is one that makes a lot of sense. It will be probably traded at the deadline. Seth Halverson is one that I've been interested in for a long time. You know, obviously the back end 3 for the Orioles and Dominguez and Cano and in Felix Bautista. Those are options as well. So a lot of guys. I mean, there will be a ton of guys for the Mariners to be able to go out there and get. It's just who do they like? You know what I mean? I like Gino and Santana for the vibes alone. I'd be fine with that. I hope we can win tomorrow. Man, I agree with you so much. I'm right there with you. Is Bednar too iffy? Honestly, I'd be fine with David Bednar because you're not slotting him in as a closer. If you slot him in between Gabe Spire and Matt Brash, I think that's a great spot for him. Like, I'd be very okay with that. Abner Uribe, I mean, I don't know why the Brewers would trade him, but sure, I'm in. Do you think they will get a starter? Banana, I do. I do think they would get a starter. I think that I honestly think Logan Evans gets traded at this trade deadline. I do. And I would not be shocked if it's in a trade for Gino. So, what other actual serious teams will cut dudes no matter how much they are making if they are terrible? Most of them. I mean, Dodgers have cut what? Austin Barnes already this year. They cut Chris Taylor this year. Tomorrow, Salmon run bobblehead today. What bobblehead would you get? I'd get Humpy if I could. Absolutely, I would get Humpy. You were supposed to be at tomorrow's game? Oh, rip. I thought about going, but I just went last night and it didn't go well, so. Andrew Heaney is the 5th starter, maybe. I mean, hey, if it works out, I'm in. Was that a fastball? Yeah, it was, Tom. It was a fastball that Cal hit. Shintaro Fujinami, he is no longer with the Mariners. I don't remember where he went. Did he go back to Japan? I'm actually not sure where Shintaro Fujinami went. I'm not sure, but he's not with the Mariners anymore. Thank the Brewers for taking out the Miz early today. Yeah, we needed it. I think I'd lean Sockeye, but Humpy is probably consensus number 1. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely get Humpy. You know what I mean? But I think Sockeye is a good one as well. What would a trade package for Class A look like? It'd be ridiculous. For Emmanuel Clase, you're gonna have to give up probably. You're gonna have to give up probably 2 of your top 10 prospects alone. Rogelio, what's up, man? How are you? He is back in Japan. Got you. Name your best M starter and closer of all time. Of all time, Felix Hernandez and Edwin Diaz. Now, if you mean at the deadline, you probably mean at the deadline. What am I saying? Best M starter and closer at the deadline. Felix Bautista for closer. Zach Gallen, maybe Merrill Kelly as the starters. But seeing Demo on the broadcast doing batting practice and striking out was so sad and still frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I really, like, it's a bummer to see Demo, who is the Mariners' longest tenured player, struggle as much as he has. But there's just unfortunately no room for him on this roster. There isn't. He needs to be off this team, and the Mariners need to find another way. So, trade Andres Munoz for Josh Rojas and Andrew Benintendi. Perfect. I think you're forgetting about Bobby Ayala. You're so right. My bad, chat. Glad the Red Sox finally cooled off. Back-to-back series losses, maybe a sweep. Yeah, I mean, I honestly think that the Red Sox are pretenders. After trading Rafi Devers, I think that that's a team that was just on the brink of falling apart. I just don't see how they can continue without him. So, Braves and Padres are talking regarding Marcelo Ozuna. Hey man, as long as he doesn't have to come here, I'm in. Gallen has the worst ERA of any qualified pitcher. He's not the guy. I just know how good he can be, and if the Mariners can get him anywhere close to that, then I think that it'd be a good get. If the Mariners DFA Demo, does he clear waivers and go to Tacoma? He could be outrighted to Tacoma if he clears waivers, but I would assume he would elect free agency instead. So, you're done with Luke Raley, man. Give him some time back off the injured list, man. For you, it'd be Felix and Sasaki for all time. I think that's a good shout as well. I think that's a good shout as well. You think the Brewers are pretenders? I mean, I don't know what's in the water in Milwaukee, man. I don't know what's in the water. They're a team that is not good offensively, but has been pretty good on the pitching side of things, and somehow they're making it work. Earliest you see Cade Anderson making his debut. Trade deadline next year. Trade deadline next year. Appreciate it, Autumn. Good night. That's my guess. Rayleigh's a streaky player. He'll get hot. Yeah, I mean, I think that he just needs to get his timing back, truthfully. Tellez would have caught that. It doesn't matter. The Mariners won, you know. But I mean, you're right. But he's not supposed to be a first baseman. He's supposed to be an outfielder. The Mariners are just putting him at first base because they don't have anywhere else to put him. They don't have a way to get him ABs otherwise. So put Luke Raley in the outfield. Let Dom Canzone DH. Bring up Tyler Locklear. Go get Josh Naylor. Boom, we're done. Could Anderson get traded this deadline? Could he get traded? Yes. Will he? I highly, highly, highly doubt it. I think that he is as close to untouchable as Colt Emerson. But trade Polanco, Solano, Demo, and maybe Julio. Man, one of these things is not like the other. Can't Canzone play first base? I think he played it like once in the minor leagues, but not very often. When he gets used to his contacts the offseason. I mean, hey, I know he was wearing glasses there for a little while, wasn't he? Merrill Kelly is very good. Gallen was battling injuries last year. Will never be the same. Yeah. I think that Kelly, I mean, it would obviously cost more to go get Merrill Kelly. And I think that, of course, the Diamondbacks would love to keep him. But speaking of Colt, when will he come up? I think there's a possibility we see him at the end of next year, but I would say it's more so on the at the beginning of 2027. So, if the Mariners get a first baseman at the deadline, does Rayleigh go to right field full time? It depends. I mean, there's a possibility, of course, they could trade Dominic Canzone in a scenario like that. I don't necessarily know if they will, but in that case, then yeah, Rayleigh would go to right field. There's certainly a world where the Mariners could go out and get a first baseman, and Luke Rayleigh could go out to right field, and Dom Canzone could DH a little bit more. But then what do you do with Jorge Polanco? It's just there's a lot of moving pieces because Jorge Polanco doesn't necessarily play a position. You could put him at third base. There's just so many intangibles with that right now that I don't know how it would work in terms of the way the roster is constructed. But Ty said there was a slight concern from him as there was only a few pitches that only reached 93 from Gilbert. I mean, again, maybe that is something that is by design. Maybe the Mariners told him to not try not to throw as hard because that was one of the reasons. Maybe that's one of the reasons why his arm was, he had to go on the injured list. I'm not sure, but I think that the fact that he threw so many splitters today is a good sign, in my opinion. You might be right, Keaton. Actually, you might be right. It might not be until the off season they could be traded. I don't remember, actually. Good shout. Yeah, Robles is rehabbing. Yep. Do you see a bench bat to replace Demo and Solano at the trade deadline? I sure as hell hope so. Or, and now this is something that I talked about on Twitter earlier today and got some interesting responses. If you go, let's say you go out and get Geno and you DFA Dylan Moore, can you slide Ben Williamson kind of into that Dylan Moore role? Now, we haven't seen Ben Williamson play anywhere else. We haven't. So we don't necessarily know if he can just play in other positions. But with how good he is defensively, I think there's a chance that he could play another position, but we can't guarantee that. If not, you have him as a defensive replacement over there at third base. So, what's a Logan Gilbert extension look like? 6 years, $115 million. I don't know. Is Miller going to come back off of the IR? The IL? At some point. But we'll see. I think they said maybe in like the end of August. But trade Julio, Randy, and Rayleigh to Tampa for Brendan Summerhill. Man, Sean, what are you going to do if he ends up being nothing? Trade during Ichiro's day in Cooperstown. Over, under. What day is that? The 27th? I hope it's under. Because I don't want anything to take away from the you know, the pageantry that Ichiro is going to get in Cooperstown. I hope he does. I hope that doesn't happen, but it does seem very Mariners for that to happen. So, Adley Rutschman to the Mariners. The deadline, rotate Adley and Cal at DH. Garver's emergency catcher. Do not lose the DH. And possibly teach Cal or Adley first base as well. I don't know if the Orioles would be willing to trade Adley Rutschman this early in his career, but never say never. The idea the Mariners have the most ammo, they should be able to outbid everyone, is misleading. A ton of teams have prospect capital to get Geno. All about aggression. I mean, honestly, the fact they have the most ammo is completely true. They have, 9 top 100 prospects? They have more ammo than any other team. But you're right, it is all about aggression. Are the Mariners willing to get more aggressive than those other teams? Because they can outbid anybody. It's just, will they? That's the real question. Yeah. When Williamson, he has played shortstop. That is true. What's the answer at first base? Luke Raley hasn't been great. Not sure. I mean, that's a tough question because can you add at both corners at this deadline? I'm not sure. But Miller throwing 97. W. Love to see it. Favorite obscure 2010s Mariner. Shout out Dae-Ho Lee. Obscure 2010s Mariner. How about James Jones, chat? How do you feel about James Jones? But can they hit their shots? Hit your shots, kid. Anyways, chat, I'm gonna call it there. A nice little half-hour stream, but I appreciate you guys for being here for a nice little 30-minute-er. We might be here for a stream tomorrow after tomorrow's game. Jordan and I do have to record the podcast. But again, I appreciate you guys for being here for this one. Fingers crossed the Mariners can go out there and get a W tomorrow and secure a series win against one of the best teams in all of baseball. Imagine. You know what I mean? But anyways, I hope you guys have a good night. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Smooches.